We are here in our hotel room. I've got my 3 boys. We are gonna get ready to go swimming.
Yeah.
And we noticed out the window of our hotel, and we also saw them as we drove by. There are a bunch of people down there holding signs.
Yeah.
Did you guys see what their signs said?
Yeah.
I think it says, I think the first word says sick.
Yeah, and yeah.
I know what it says.
Yeah.
What does
You
it
can
say?
see the CK from here, huh? It says
It says
Black
Black
Lives
Lives
Matter. What do you think that means?
It means that black people should have the same rights as white people.
Yeah. Yeah,
And do you think that that's true right now?
Yeah.
yeah, and we have a yellow light.
Do you think that in the world right now that black people and white people and people of all different skin colors and religions, and do you think that everybody gets treated equally?
No.
What kind of things can we do to make this better?
I really do not know the answer to that.
Well, think about it.
How are you though?
That's why we're having these conversations, because sometimes I don't know the answers either. A lot of the time I don't know the
This
answers.
is so much fun. And we have a
Topher,
yellow
what do you
light.
think? What kind of things can we do to help?
Chicken nugget. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
Don't be rude and don't punch people.
Don't be rude and don't punch people. I love that answer, Jake. What else? Yes.
We can treat black people the same as we would treat white people.
Treat,
Hey, I was
how
about to
about
say that too.
how about we treat everyone well?
Because some people might have orange skin, some people might have different
Yes.
colors besides white
Yes,
and
so-
black skin.
What? Hey, here's a good question. What happens if you are around your friends
And they bully you?
and they say something that's kind of mean to someone else because of the way that they look? What can you do?
Go talk to your friend and say, don't do that.
Go tell your friends that that's not okay, and then go hang out with the other person.
And you need to tell their friends that you need to tell the friend that that they need to apologize.
So you should definitely stand up for that person who's being bullied, right? I love that. You guys, this is awesome. I was kind of thinking maybe we could go buy some like bottled water and Gatorade and stuff and take down to all those people. Would that be a good idea? I like what they're doing. They're not being violent. They're not trying to hurt anyone. They're not trying to be violent. They're just down there with their signs and they're trying to make people think, right? I think every single car that passes by those people down there with their signs is going to take a minute and think about it. And I think that's what's important, is to get people thinking and talking and to make some good change happen. So should we do that a little bit later? I think that'd be a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Okay, when we left our house this morning to drive to a town a few hours away, just for a little staycation with my husband and my kids, I did not realize what was going to happen. And I'm so thankful that it did. This was really, really, really cool. So, I mean, like everyone else in the social media world, I have been posting nonstop anti-racism and graphics on what white people specifically can do to try to educate themselves, try to make a positive difference, and use our voices in good ways, and how we can take action. And right, I've been posting, but I haven't done anything. Like, let's be real, I haven't done. I mean, I donated, and I've watched some movies and read some books with my kids, and I have been really on the ball with listening to my black friends and their messages and their stories and what they have to say. So, you know, I've done that, but I haven't done anything like action-wise, like I don't know, like out loud for the world. So anyway, when we pulled into our hotel, there was a protest across the street. And it started with like 20-ish people and got up to 30, 40, 50. And as the hours passed, by tonight, there were probably 100 people out there with signs, literally right across the street from our hotel. I was watching them out the window while my kids were swimming. And I had this feeling that I just could not shake that said, here's your chance. Here's your chance. All of those pretty words and pretty pictures that you post on social media, is any of that real? You need to get your butt over there. So I did tonight. Not gonna lie, I was terrified. I didn't know anyone. I'm not in my hometown. I literally just walked across the street and kind of stood there next to everybody. I didn't have a sign. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm here. And instantly, people were talking to me. I started taking pictures, and, you know, everyone's asking me what my name was, and everyone was so friendly, and there was no hatred. I was expecting with a group that big to see something like F the police, or, you know, something that was coming from a place of hate, and there was none of that. There was a lot of passion. There was a lot of strong proclamations, but I didn't see any hate. It was all coming from a place of people hurting and people wanting to be heard and people wanting change. And that's what I needed to see. I didn't spend a long time over there. I was only over there for 5 or 10 minutes, just kind of wandering the crowds, talking to a few people here and there. But I am going to share some of the pictures this week when I'm ready and tell the story of that. Was really cool to be a part of. And I almost didn't do it because I was scared. So I'm really glad that I did. And I wanted to share that with you guys. If you ever see anything like that and your heart tells you to move, to act, to say something, to do something, I hope that you will follow that prompting in that moment, because I'm so glad that I did. That was so cool. Even though I was only able to stay there for a few minutes, that was freaking cool. And it really flipped my mindset on a lot of things. I see like the riots on TV, and I see the violence, and I just sort of like assume that that's what happens at these things. And to be able to be a part of like a peaceful gathering of people, loud, right, and ready to, you know, shout from the rooftops what they have to say, and really creative posters too. But to be a part of that, I almost didn't do it because I was scared, and I did, and I'm really, really glad, because that was a really cool experience. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to share with you really quickly that I was so happy to see in real life. It seems like on the media, on the news, all you ever see anymore is the protesting and then the police officers, and they're at each other's throats, right? The police officers are firing tear gas and firing the rubber bullets, and the rioters are throwing things at the cops, and violence breaks out, and then the looting and the rioting and the, you know, like, and the arrests and all of that, and that's all that I see on the news. So I wanted to share this with you because this was really cool. I'm gonna get emotional. While I was there, 2 police officers came up to where the protesters all were, and they were wheeling a big cooler on wheels, and they opened it up and started handing out like bottled water to everyone, and walking around and having conversations with people and being positive and being supportive. And I really needed to see that, because I am very much like, I want to be at the forefront of doing what I can for anti-racism and Black Lives Matter, but I refuse to be the person who runs around yelling F the police. That is not my jam. I believe that most police officers are good-hearted human beings who are in that line of work to protect people and to help people. And so to see that firsthand, like, I just needed that. My heart just needed that. And that was a really, really touching moment for me to be able to see that happening and that support. Yeah. Okay. That's all.